All right, looks like a beautiful day out there. Oh man, that sun is so bright. Oh man, I just wish there was an easier way. Hey Siri, close the curtains.
Okay, the curtains are closed.
Way better.
All right, guys, as you can see, we're going to be talking about the Remac M1 Smart Curtain Track. And I have a couple different goals for this video today. I want to show you how easy it is to install. I want to show you how it's native to Apple Home. And then we'll kind of show you just some different real-world examples of how it can benefit you and your family, like setting some automations. All right, but first we're going to go ahead and get into the unboxing. I do want to thank Remac for sponsoring this video. We thank you so much for picking us for this collaboration and sponsoring this video. But let's get into unboxing, and then we'll get it installed in Apple Home, and then we'll go from there. But essentially, we're going to install it, and then we're going to show you the automations, the app, all that kind of good stuff, and then we'll come back and talk about the specifications. But yeah, let's get into the unboxing.
All right, guys, so this is going to go on our slider. So it's a pretty big piece of equipment. So that's why I'm doing the unboxing down here instead of in my office. But you can kind of see, mini and discrete motor, hub-free direct connect, DIY friendly installation. So do it yourself, should be pretty cool. And then Apple Home compatibility, okay? All right, looks like it's the same on the other side. So let's go ahead and just get into the box. All right, so we've got some foam protecting it from shipping. We got our power adapter in here. So what's that gonna look like? All right, so there is our power adapter. Perfect. This is our accessories. Awesome. So it's gonna have some screws, some Allen wrench, some different equipment that we need to get this thing installed. And then we have some other accessories. Again, there's going to be some wall mounts and some screws to make sure that we're mounting it properly. So it looks like these are like templates that you put on the wall to kind of map out where you're going to drill holes and all that kind of good stuff. All right. We got our user manual. And then we have our remote. That is looking pretty snazzy. Let's get into that really quick. Okay, and it does come with batteries, so that's kind of cool. It goes out, and there is the remote. Awesome. So we will get into installing this to kind of show you how easy it is to install. But this is the curtain system right here. And we'll install this, and then we kind of have our curtain that has hooks on it that will go on that and show you just how easy it is to use this guy. All right, so the first thing you want to do is measure out the space that you're going to be putting this over. So if it's a window, if it's a slider, you want to measure out. And the best way to get full coverage is if you measure 4 inches on either side of whatever you're going to put this over. So that's what we did. We're at 72 inches here. So now we just need to match it up. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to pull this over to make sure it's matching on this side. And then pull this close. And then what we do is we unscrew this screw. It's the number 2 screw. And you can use the tool that they gave you. It's basically just Phillips screwdriver. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to unscrew it all the way, okay? Just enough to be able to slide this. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're gonna bring this all the way to that 72 mark there, and then just make sure on this side. Okay, and then what you need to do is make sure you tighten it because you don't want it to push it out when you turn the power on, because if you don't tighten the screw back all the way, what it can do is once you turn the power on, the curtain itself will push this side out even further. All right, and we're pretty tight there, so we're good to go there. All right, now we flip it over and we get started with the next step. So the next step in the process is we have to remove this because basically we want it all the way to the right, and we want that one on that side all the way to the left. So we got to bring this one all the way over to the left. So we'll go ahead and loosen this and do that. Now you can totally use their tool that they provided for this. I just like using the screwdriver better, so All you need is a Phillips and you should be good to go. Okay, as you can see, that fell off the back. So now, you want this all the way. You want these all the way, okay? So now we're gonna replace it and put it back just how it was. And you gotta make sure these are all the way tight, okay? Because otherwise you're gonna have some problems when you actually fire it up and turn it on. On to the next step. Okay, so next what we do is we need to actually plug the M1 in. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. There's a USB-C power port right here that we're gonna plug this into. There we go, you see that light come on. And then we're gonna add it to our Apple Home. So you wanna add the accessory, scan it, it says blinds. This may take a minute. All right, and it is setting it up. And it is as easy as that. So we're gonna do this in the living room. We're gonna call it Moon M1 curtains. All right, setting it up. And we'll set up the automations later. All right, and there it is right there. That's how easy it is to set up in the app. You just have to scan that, it's awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next step. Okay, so the last step is getting the remote all set up and ready to go. So why do we have to go through this step? Well, whenever you change the length of the track, the memory is different, right? So it's no longer as short as it was when it was delivered to you. It's now longer or maybe shorter, just depending on how your window is. But because we lengthen this, we have to essentially tell the remote that there's a new length. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit this P2 button on the back, and then we're gonna hit the close, and then the P2 button again, okay? And what that does is it deletes the memory. You can kind of see that it went forward a little bit and then came back. And this is just telling our remote that, hey, there's new length in here. So we need to learn that, okay? So next what we're gonna do, now that it stopped moving, is we're gonna hit the close button, and it's gonna go the full length, and we're gonna let it stop. All right, and it looks like we set up everything, because if you didn't, you'd hear some kind of grinding noise, or you'd see the track kind of lengthen out a little bit. So the key thing to remember is whenever you change the length of your track, you have to go through this whole setup process all over again, okay? So that's the setup process. Now we're going to check something really quick. Hey Siri, close moon curtain.
Okay, the Moon M1 curtains are closed.
That is awesome. Hey Siri, open up the Moon M1 curtains. That is so awesome. Now guys, if you have any questions on the install, there is, it comes with the actual manual itself, but they do have very easy to follow YouTube videos. But I'm trying to show you, through my setup, just how easy it is. But you can also go to theirs, and theirs is a lot more detailed. But yeah, let's get this up over the window, over the slider. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drill the holes for the anchors, and then we're gonna get it all up and installed. So and that's how easy it is. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to some of the features in the app. I'm gonna show you some cool things. So we're gonna go ahead and go to home. And as you can see, it's in my favorites as living room curtains. So we're gonna go ahead and open that up. And it opens all the way. And then if you click on that again, it's gonna close it. Perfect. Now you can actually just click on the side of that, and you can see when it's fully closed, that full bar is like blue. But you can really customize this however you want. So we're just gonna say 48% open. Let's see what that does. Awesome. And then if you want it fully open, you just drag it all the way up. Now, some of the settings in here, you can see, you know, we've named it curtains at the top. You can add it to your home view. You can include it in your favorites. You can add some automations, like for instance, when the last person leaves, you can have it close. There's suggested scenes, right? So like good morning, open, good night, close. If you leave home, close. And then you have the model, all that kind of good stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and add an automation. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it at a time of day. Okay, so at 10:45, I want this to close. Okay, so we're going to set it at 10:45, and then we're going to have it be repeat every day. We're going to go to next. We're going to enable this automation, and we're going to have this to curtains close. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and test this automation to see if it's going to work. All right, perfect, and that's going to work. So we'll go ahead and set up one more automation. I want to set it for in the morning for it to open. So we're going to say at 6 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have this open. So we are going to set it to open, and we're going to go ahead and test this automation. All right, and that is set as well. So now that's going to run just automatically. All right, so I wanted to show a couple things on the remote. You can see it does have this close button on the bottom. If you want to pause it, you can at any time, and that's going to leave it right where you want it. But we're going to go ahead and close it all the way. And then we're going to open it. All right, now it does have a couple of cool things. You have a 50%, so if you click on that, it's going to close at 50%. And then you also have a 75% as well. So pretty cool, you know, very easy to use, not just the app, but also the remote. So let's get into some of the specifics and we'll talk about it.
All right, guys, before we get into the specifications, I want to go over one more kind of cool feature in here. So what I did was I went ahead and I set up a scene. So you can kind of see, you know, in here, you have the curtains, you have the room, living room, add to home. We've already done that. But when you go down to scenes, I added a movie scene in here. Now, the reason I did that is we have that big sliding glass door, and all that light coming in can definitely make it hard to watch a movie, watch a show. And right now, you know, it's the summertime, so it gets dark maybe at 9:30, right? So, you know, as we're starting a show, once we put the kids down, you know, it can really be hard to see the TV with all that glare. So, you know, what you do is you just basically click on the movie scene, you click on the curtains, and it will close the curtains and just give you that awesome, you know, darkness that you need to be able to watch your show how you want to watch it. So yeah, so just another cool feature about the Apple Home and how it utilizes accessories in there, like this M1 curtain, you know, smart curtain track, and really do love just the features of this app. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to cover. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the specifications of the actual track itself, and then we'll close out this video. All right, guys, so as you can see, there's just a lot of features that come with this Remac M1 Smart curtain track. So you have those scenes that we just showed you, you have automations, you can open it to any percentage that you want to, but let's do this. Let's go ahead and get into some of those pros and cons, tell you things I love about it, some of the things that I wish would change, and then we'll kind of close out this video. But yeah, I mean, the first things first, no-cut telescopic track, right? Which was really important to us because, you know, some of the others, some of the competitors, you have to have a hacksaw, you have to cut it exactly. You know, for us, I measured incorrectly at first, so we had to actually extend it. So that telescopic, you know, feature that it has was really beneficial for us. So we could customize it for our sliding glass door. So very thankful for that. It has native matter support, so you don't have to worry about any kind of hub. Right, you just, you know, take a picture on your phone for the QR code in the, you know, the Apple Home app, and it adds it instantly, and it's ready to go. So just a fantastic feature there. You have the versatile control methods, right? You can open it 7%, 10%, 15%, 100%, you know, however you want to use it, however you want to open it, you can, which is really good because if you think about it, sometimes the sun is kind of shining through that sliding glass door, and I don't want it to close all the way because I still want light coming in because it's blackout curtains, so it'll make it dark. But I can block that sun and still have light coming into the room. So super cool feature there. Power outage override. You do have a clutch, you know, built-in clutch device that allows the curtains to open if there is a power outage. So pretty cool feature there. Heavy fabric capability, right? We got the heavy blackout curtains. So you're able to, you know, handle that with this motor because it's an 18-watt motor. So it will handle that, and it runs at 45 decibels. So very quiet. so it's not going to wake up the house, if you're running it. So we can have it open at 6 o'clock. It's not going to wake up the kids. We don't have to worry about that. So just some fantastic features there. And you can set those scenes, right? That's another pro. You can set scenes for, if you're watching a movie, you can just click on it and click it closed. And if you're leaving, you can just click on that one. So lots of cool options there to customize the scenes. You can have it closed 50% or 75% again. So really up to you in terms of how you want to set that and customize it. But let's talk about the things that I wish would kind of change, right? The AC power cord management. So that power cord just kind of hangs off the side outside of the curtain. So that's one thing I wish would change. I wish it was kind of inside it so it would hang down in the curtain. I do have some things that I attach to the wall that kind of we're able to manage that. So it's easy to get around that. But I do wish that it was a little bit on the inside of the curtain so it would just hide it behind that curtain. Another thing, it has a center split only design. So I would love if there was like one that would just go from one side to the other, especially for like a sliding glass door. That'd be really helpful. But again, we were able to open it even further so we could have the full sliding glass door open. So, not a huge deal for us, but that's just one feature I wish they had, just one that kind of went from one side to the other. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, that's my pros and cons list for the Remac M1 Smart Curtain Track. I hope you liked it. We really do love making these videos for you. Please do hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when we're coming out with new videos. Check out the affiliate links below. We're gonna have some affiliate links below. That's the best way to support our channel is by buying it through the affiliate links because we get affiliate commission. And again, thank you Remac for sponsoring this video. But yeah, thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one.